Hi there. I'm going to give you 5 funny stories that have happened to me as a driving instructor, either on driving lessons or driving tests. If you're new to the channel, by the way, give it a like and subscribe. And if you want to give it a thanks, that's appreciated too. So the first story was about, I'm guessing now, about 5-6 years ago. I was in the driving lesson, finishing the driving lesson off in the centre of Milton Keynes, because that's where I teach. And the student had just gone, and I'm sat in the driver's side, just going through my books, checking my emails, and the rear door opened and someone jumped in. I said, "Can I help you?" "Yeah, just take me to Netherfield." Now, if you don't know Milton Keynes, I'm in the centre of Milton Keynes. Netherfield's about 2-3 miles away. I looked at her, I said, "See what?" I said, "Take me to Netherfield." I said, "I'm not a taxi, you know." "Oh, yes, you are. I've seen your sign on top." I said, No. Get outside and have a look at the sign. It's not a taxi, it's a learner car." She says, "No, it's a taxi. I'm convinced." I said, "Get outside and check." So she got outside. "I'm really sorry. I thought you were a taxi then. Were you stopping at the side of the road?" so that was a funny one for me. Now, this happened, I don't know, it got to be about 10 years ago. And we're at the test centre with my student, waiting in the waiting room. And the examiner's come out, calls this guy's name out, fills the details in, and the examiner says, "Right, off we go then, just lead me to your car." And the lad says to him, "I've not got a car." The examiner looks at him strange. "What do you mean you've not got a car? When you book your driving test, it says on it, bring a car along." No, I thought paying for the driving test includes the car. Now, I can understand that people will understand that, because it's £62 for booking your driving test. But this guy turned up with no car. So the examiner says to him, "Well, I'm sorry, that fee is for the examiner to assess your driving. You need to bring a car along." So the guy says to him, "So can we rebook it for a later date then?" I said, "No, you've lost your test now." So unfortunately, that guy lost his test. Cost him 62 quid, plus a taxi there, plus a taxi back home that day. So I'm in the waiting room thinking, God, this is a bit silly, this now. And my student's looking at me thinking, oh dear. So it happens every now and then, I have to say. This is quite a funny one now. I was on the start of the driving test. This is before the pandemic, so it's going back about 4 or 5 years. And I'm sat in the back, and the examiner's chatting away to my student, and says to the lad, "Right, start the car, when you're ready, we'll drive off." So the lad puts it in gear, looks around, pressing the gas, releases the handbrake, and it's nothing. And the examiner's looking at him thinking, "You've not turned the engine on." So waits for a few seconds, the examiner, and the lad's kind of pressing the gas pedal, nothing's happening. The examiner says to him, "You need to start the engine first." Right. Of course, at that point, the lad's laughing, the examiner's kind of having a smirk. I'm back thinking, this is funny, kind of thing. So it was nerves causing that, but it was funny. It broke the ice. The lad drove quite well on the test and passed in the end, but it was probably pre-test nerves right at the beginning for getting to turn the engine on. This is another one where I'm sat in the back of a test, and we're driving along, and it's quite embarrassing at the time, but it was funny afterwards. We had a good laughing joke about it. And the student goes to grab the gear stick, misses the gear stick, grabs the examiner's knee. Of course, the examiner jumps out of his seat at that point, and there's like hanging onto the side of the door, and the student's kind of giving it all this. "I didn't mean to grab your knee." The examiner says to him, "Just don't worry about it. Just keep driving, concentrate on your driving. You'll be fine." Got back to test centre. The student passed. On the way home, I'm driving home, and I kind of little dig at him. "What are you grabbing the examiner's knee for?" "I didn't mean to," he said. So I said, "Don't worry about it. It's fun. It's funny at the time." So it wasn't funny for the student. It wasn't funny for the examiner. I'm sure when the examiner got back to test centre, they're having a little laugh about it in the canteen. But it was funny for me at the back. And the final one today on this short video is I'm on the back of a test again, driving along, and the examiner's actually someone I've never seen before, so he must be new to the area. And they're driving along following, I think they were following signs at that point, so it must be quite a few years ago. And the examiner gave them some directions to follow. I think it might have been left and right at a roundabout, and the student went left and ahead. So nothing was said for a few seconds, and I'm in the back thinking, student's gone the wrong way, but they've done nothing wrong, so they should be fine. Expecting the examiner to give them redirections to come back. Nothing happened. After about 10 seconds, the examiner turns around to me and says, do you know your way around here? And I'm thinking, yeah, of course I do. Can you direct us back then, back to where we should be? So I said, yeah. So I said to the student, just listen to me a few seconds, I'm going to direct you back. So I directed them back to where the roundabout was. Said to the examiner, here we are now. The examiner took over, and then they carried on. And it was quite funny for me, because I thought, God, I didn't expect that. I thought the examiner might have knew where they were going, but obviously it must have been their first day in that area, and my student got it wrong. So I directed them back, and I had a little smirk in the back at the same time, trying not to smile, but kind of keeping it under me hand like that. So it was quite funny. If you've enjoyed these quick stories and you like something like this again, let us know, and I'll come up with some more stories that have happened to me over the years as an instructor, and see if you like them. Take care.